Hello, sixth graders. All right, today marks the first real day of Life Choices Explo that you are going to have, okay? Now, like I explained to you yesterday, this is a project-based class. Now, while we are not in the classroom, so we can't do this in the normal way that I normally do, I am going to modify them for you so you still get the same ideas out of them, okay? So first off, our first project is called the Personal Poems Project, or creative writing and kind of explaining to me who you are. Okay, so the objective for this, I should explain this first actually. If you open the Personal Poems Project sheet that I've shared with you on Google Classroom, you can actually kind of read through it as I explain to you what is going on. All right, so I'm just going to read through this. You can follow along with me if you want. All right, the objective is for our first project, we are going to create poems that reflect who we are or where we come from. Okay, so I want you to tell me about you as a person or the area that you live in. People seem to be able to write about those things very, very well. The task is to create and title a 7-line poem that describes who you are or where you come from. You do not necessarily have to rhyme within your poem, okay? You don't have to be Dr. Seuss. Poems don't always rhyme, actually. It just has to be written in what is called prose, which means that it's kind of the form that poems are written in. Okay. You also have to decorate your final copy of your poem, and I'm going to explain more about that later to you. Okay. What you're going to end up doing is using a Google slide, one slide. Okay. And when you have finished all your rough work, and I'll explain that to you in a second, you're going to put your final poem on a Google slide, and then you can use colors and the pictures and stuff like that to decorate your Google slide. Just make sure it's school appropriate. Again, this is a school project. Even though you are not at school, it must be school appropriate. Okay? One example of a poem that I found is this. People ask me where I'm from. I say the best place you can imagine, where there's something for everyone, whether you like the sticky hot or the frigid cold, the buzz of the street lights or the hum of the June bugs. You will surely find something gold where I'm from. Okay, so that one does have a little bit of rhyme in it. So it touches on that, but you don't have to. Okay, so something you might do is you might look up examples of poems, right? Because not everybody is able just to come up with a 7-line poem on top of their head. Okay, so maybe look up some examples. But what I do not want you to do, okay, is copy other people's work. All right, and even if you change a few words, you are still copying other people's work. Come up with your own words, write your own poems, okay? But you can look up other examples. In fact, I encourage you to look at other people's examples. See how they made their poems look. See what they did, okay? That's always a great idea to learn how to do things, is find examples. Okay, the due date for this project is going to be April 20th at 11:59 p.m. and I want you to share it with me. Okay, so when you use Google Slides to create your presentation, I want you, when you are finished with your one slide, share with Mr. Stensrud. Okay, and that is in your directory. All you have to do is type my last name in and it will come up. Okay, so that should not be an issue. Make sure you share that with me on April 20th by 11:59. I will probably send out a reminder email just to make sure you turn it in. Grading, I will be using a rubric that I have created. Okay, I will also share that with you. I do not want it to be a surprise how I am grading you. You get to look exactly at the rubric that I am using and know exactly what I am looking for. That way you should all theoretically be able to get 100%. Okay, you know exactly what I'm looking for. The steps I want you to do is to work on creating your poem in your daily notebook and scratch paper. Then I want you to look up examples of poems. Be sure not to copy other people's work. Okay, I want you to ask questions and take your time. Do a good job. Don't finish this in 5 minutes. Okay? Finally, create your final copy of your poem using a Google slide. That way it can be shared with me. And I also want you to decorate it. Make sure your decorations are school appropriate. This is a school project. Finally, share your Google slide poem with me before April 20th at 11:59 p.m. so I can give you a grade. Notes and pointers. Make sure your word choice is chosen carefully, okay? Use thesaurus.com rather than using the word good or the word bad, okay? I want you to try and find better words. Use thesaurus.com, gives you great words, okay? But make sure they make sense. Don't throw some weird ones in there that you've never heard before. Poems should create a picture within the mind of the person reading it. Try to do that while writing, okay? As I read your poem, I should be creating a picture in my head. You should also write in your notebooks to start. And once you are sure you have the writing that you want, you can create one Google slide. Okay, don't create 15 slides and share it with me. create one Google slide, and then share that with me when you are finished. Okay, and again, that is due on April 20th at 11:59 p.m. If you have questions, please ask me at any time. I'm the one who created the project, so I'm the guy to ask. I will do my best to respond to you as soon as possible. Again, so you're using a Google slide to create this project. Make sure you do your rough draft on either scratch paper or your notebook. Okay, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. If you do have questions, though, please do not go a few days. Ask me right away, okay? Send me an email. I'll do my best to respond to you as soon as possible, okay? All right, I think that's all I have for you. If you do have questions, make sure you email me or set up a time to talk. Thank you.